Poducer.
Cause you'll look like what, Nas and them in fucking Belly. Ready? Are you ready? You ever seen that movie?
Dude, it's on my list. I
never
put it
seen
on my
Belly?
watch list. I've never seen it.
You also gotta seen
Yeah, I've heard
I
it's
watched it 5 times the first day it came out.
really.
you gotta watch State Property too.
16 hours and just watched it back to back.
Yeah, State Property.
And that was also
Belly's great.
it was one of those things where you got it on VHS or something like that. Yeah.
It was years ago.
It's one of those things where there's no streaming, so it's not just I have all the options. It's we got Belly and I love this movie. So
yeah, Belly's a old school jam. So is I was saying State Property is another one you got on your list. You remember State Property with Beanie Siegel and Jay-Z and fucking that shit was great.
no.
No, it's not as good as Belly, but it's good though. Yeah, it's funny.
What's the plot of Belly? Is it
you have a group of friends. I'm trying to think of all the names. You had Nas who played.
Babe, can you let him start the podcast?
He just asked me a question.
I did ask him the question.
What is going on?
It was kind of my fault. I'm not gonna lie.
It's all good.
We can start though. We can.
I mean,
Open it up with
we can
Belly.
get in it.
Open
Yeah,
it
we
up
were just
for
talking
Belly.
about Belly.
But yeah, you had Nas and DMX, and and there was 2 more people that they were homies with, and they were basically they were robbers, right? They were basically robbers, yeah. And they hit one of their biggest licks, which was at this crazy club in the. He just asked, "What was the?"
Okay, wait, yeah,
Oh, you mean the general consensus?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
It's about some black people getting some money.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about some black people getting some money and then love wanting to get you up out of it.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. And just it's Nas. So
It's Nas and DMX.
and DMX?
Oh yeah, if what you mean.
I didn't
What was
even
his
know
name
that.
and what'd I do?
Just burp.
No, I said
Oh.
You sure you don't want to be on cam?
I'm let me get out of here. I'm gonna walk out.
I was trying to remember what's his name in that movie. I don't know why I can't remember right now.
Sears.
That's Nas.
Tommy Buns.
Rough Rider.
Tommy Buns. Buns was DMX's name. This was great.
That's not really a hard name.
Nah, but DMX was crazy. Strip motherfucker. Bah! This was great, dude. Yeah,
I bet you I've heard a lot of samples from that movie, but just didn't.
Oh, I guarantee it. That
Didn't
movie's been
realize.
ripped apart.
Yeah.
Start this
All
podcast.
right, let's get yeah. We'll get into it.
Into it.
I'll do a little intro. Yo, what's up, guys? This is Poducer, the podcast for producers, and today we're joined by B4Lasers.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Yeah, and he just did an SP set, so that will be on YouTube, so go check that out as well. Yo, what's up, guys? Before we get into today's show, I want to take a quick moment to talk about our sponsor, Quake. As music producers and concert enthusiasts, we know how important it is to protect our ears. That's where Quake's Dub Muffs V2 come in. They aren't just any earplugs, they're a game changer. What sets Dub Muffs V2 apart, first off, their quality. They're better than any plugs I've ever used. I use them all the time. I have custom in-ear plugs. These are my main ones that I bring to shows. You get premium sound clarity, preserving those crisp highs and deep lows, all while safeguarding your ears from damaging volumes. And the best part, they don't break the bank. Quality and affordability, son. Let's talk customization. Quake knows one size doesn't fit all. That's why they offer 2 sizes. Whether you're at an intimate gig or a massive festival, Dub Muffs V2 fit comfortably in your ears, making sure you're protected no matter how long the show lasts. Let's face it, we've all left concerts with ringing in our ears. It's not good, but it ends up happening. But it doesn't have to be that way. Protect your ears while enjoying the pure sound of music with Quake's Dub Muffs V2. As a special thank you to our listeners, Quake is offering an exclusive discount. Just use the code POD15 at checkout to save on your first purchase. As a motto of our show, make sure you protect your ears. Now let's get back to the show. Yo, also, I know I said I was going to get back to the show, but I'm a liar. This is for the Chicago residents, or if you're from out of town, come through. We are throwing a show. It's the very first Poducer show. It is called House of Beats. It's at the Epiphany Center for the Arts. It's going to be a fantastic show. Our lineup is incredibly stacked. Let me read some names here. We got Going Somewhere, B4Lasers, Care, Cozy Cold G, Easy Web, Backpack Beats, Pete Mac, Craig J, Damo Do the Most, Unregistered User, and special guest Eli the Guy. It's gonna be lit. This show is a tribute to the heart and soul of Chicago's extraordinary beat-making community. Imagine a unique blend of sacred and modern as the historic Epiphany Center, once a church, transforms into a pulsating hub of creativity and sound. Each beatmaker will take the stage, showcasing the diverse and rich musical heritage of the Windy City. Whether you're a beat aficionado or a casual music listener, House of Beats promises an unforgettable night. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. Go RSVP, secure your spot. You can find the link on the Poducer Instagram page. Don't miss out. It's a free show. Did I say free? All right, now we'll get back to the show.
Yeah.
How we doing?
We're doing good, man.
Good.
We're doing good. We're chilling.
Good.
It was rainy, so I'm glad we made it safely. But we are here, me and my lovely companion over there, my wife, Unique Monique. Yeah, rep. You got to rep.
Mm-hmm.
Rep the marriage, you know. So
it was really rainy. It was spitting rain. That's what my mom said. I was like, spitting rain. Okay, I like that. So what do you do for the people? Like, so people know?
So I am a audio engineer. So I mix for people all over the world. Mixed in I don't know how many different cities across how many different countries, but yes, I'm a beat maker and vinyl connoisseur. For the people, I host multiple events.
You can smack the mic. These guys are durable. Yeah. We're gonna someone sample that.
I'm a host of multiple events, and an online community. So the first one, which is on my hat right here, is DuckWorld808 in DuckWorld, Chicago. I'm also the host and owner, co-owner, because my wife is the other co-owner of the Beatmakers Toolbox, and also I am a host alongside my homie Backpack Beats for Flip a Beat Club Chicago chapter. Yes, which there's chapters all over them.
I saw Backpack Beats. I had never met him at a chopping block show, and I was like, "Are you B4Lasers?" And he's like, "Nah,
nah."
but
on Backpack.
But we look kind of similar. And he was wearing a hat, and you guys are always rocking hats, and I was just like, "Wow, I'm an idiot. It's fine." I'm okay with it.
That's all love, man.
Yeah,
that's a good guy right there.
Yeah, he threw down.
Yeah,
that was the first time I saw him. But that
guy will make 42 beats in a live session. Nigga, that's crazy. Yeah, bro's wild.
No more free beats, isn't that his thing?
No more free beats. Mochilla. Yeah, Mochilla's I don't know what it means, but I feel what he's saying. Though.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, now that I think about it, I totally understand.
But it's another one of his terminologies.
We'll get into, all of the things that you host and are a part of, but I like to start out with just a fun little icebreaker question. I ask all my guests, and it's, what was your first concert that you went to?
That I went to?
Yeah.
It was out here in the city. Besides my own, because for some wild reason I was rapping and doing performances before I could get in the bars. But hey, that's the life. But anyways, Currency.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Currency at the Swine, I think it was called, that was out here for a while. It was this dope bar lounge. The Shrine, is that what it is? Okay, then yeah, it's the Shrine. It was dope because it had like the stage behind the bar, right? Fire, bro. Currencies, bro. Blazed that shit and then jumped off the stage into the bar, walked around the bar and out the front door. Through the middle of the crowd. I'm like, bro, this man is crazy.
And he just left? Wow.
After murdering his
balls.
set.
That's ballsy right there.
Before the legal weed. And we were completely blazed out in there. It was crazy.
Currency's got some crazy just songs and beats. Like, not that, I don't think he produces, but there's this song Airborne Aquarium.
That's my shit. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And he's got some, like, back in the day of like Good Wiz. That's what I'm sorry, Wiz. Like
Good Wiz. Yo,
I like Cushion OJ era and those mixtapes.
Yeah, man. I was a huge fan even back with what was it? How Fly? Mm-hmm. Believe that was the tape that I don't know if you ever heard it, but him and Currency have an album, the whole album together. I think it's called How Fly. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Fire. Car service. What's the runway, baby? I get money from one day to Sunday, lady. Oh, me. Hey, that's my shit. That's just crazy.
Currency's good. He's got a really unique style of rapping. Like, you can pick him out so easily.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're just like, okay, that's 100% Currency.
Yeah, bro. And his history is wild. You know what I mean? Having been signed to Cash Money and No Limit. He was on both labels before.
Which one's No Limit?
No Limit is Master P's label.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was signed. He was on the 504 Boys for a while.
Damn.
And he was signed to Cash Money, Young Money. You know what I'm saying? He also did that for a while with Wayne and did a lot with Wayne, you know, and then he went on to his own venture. Yeah, bro's got history, and then now it's Jet Life. And bro's been going crazy ever since.
But, I mean, I feel like he kind of stays in the underground, you know? A little bit.
I mean, he's more consistent than most artists I know of. Mm-hmm. He releases so much. I think that's what get people sometimes though, is how much bro releases. Some people say it's too much. They'll be like, bro, I can't keep up. But I think, you know, the work ethic behind it and then the catalog that's left there for you to catch up to later. No one says you're supposed to catch up to bro, you know what I mean, immediately every time he drops something. Nah, that's not how life goes. He's just dropping his life constantly for you, so you know what's going on, you know, in his day by day.
That is like there are some artists where it's too much. Sometimes you're like, dude, what is this? There's too much to listen to here. It's like half baked. But
I can feel it, yeah. But I don't never feel that way with bro. It's always always a vibe.
So that was a good first concert.
Yeah. Oh, that was a great first concert. Yeah. I was high as hell. We kicked it.
Contact high just from the room.
Oh man. Yeah. Most
definitely. That was the only reason, right?
That was the only reason.
yeah.
Good times.
Word.
It's funny enough. Before we move on, I met that night a very prominent Chicago producer by the name of King Thelonious. That was actually the first time I met him, because he produced a 3-piece set. This is around when Closed Sessions was really popular, and I remember he did the 3-piece set tape with Spitta, and it was one of my favorite tapes. And I actually met bro in the back. I grabbed 2 beers as this chick walked by, and I just handed bro a beer because I was like, he was standing next to me. I didn't even know it was him, you know. And then we was just chatting, you know. And he was like, "It's my birthday." I'm like, "Well, happy fucking birthday, man! Hell yeah!" He was like, "All right, well, hey man, it was really nice to meet you." He was like, "I gotta run though, man." I was like, "For sure." And then the next thing you know, bro was on stage. It was fucking Thelonious, man. And he was.
You didn't know.
I didn't know. And then bro just rocked. Played one of my favorite beats of all time. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Can't get in, can't get out.
So are you still like friends?
You know what? We saw each other at one of the Open Swim shows. You know, it's all love. I'm not gonna say I like talk to bro every day or anything. Yeah. You know, but it's nothing but love. He's a huge inspiration, you know, most definitely being one of the local, you know, legends in my eyes out here, you know, so it's always support. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Nice, man. Well, I kind of want to just go like a little origin story. Like, how did you get into all this stuff? Like, you texted me some stuff that you were like, we should talk about all this. I'm like, dude, you are tapped in. Like, like it seems like you know, you're at every like beat making event, and people that aren't from Chicago, like Chicago has a very vibrant beat scene.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
vast.
it feels like you're at every one. So I'm just curious, like, you know, not making beats to being this deep into the scene, like how did that kind of start? Like what was your foray? I don't even know if that's the word. Into music. I'm out here trying to use words I don't know.
It's all good. We all do that sometimes. I've said plenty. My wife will be like, "The fuck? That doesn't mean that." I'm like, "Oh,
it's okay. It sounded cool.
Sounded right."
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah, but nah. So I started in 2006, 2007. I was like a freshman or sophomore in high school, one of those years. And it kicked off recording in my mom's, in my bedroom in my mom's house. I didn't want to play sports after that, so I used to hide my football equipment in the bush at the end of the block and go home and be like, "Oh, we didn't have practice today," and like make music with the homies. Because I used to rap, so I was big into rapping and stuff before making beats. Then I realized, like, I heard Kanye West, real talk. I heard Through the Wire, probably, or no, it was All Falls Down. The radio, it all falls. Yeah. So, anyways, I heard that, and I was like, bro, I gotta make beats. These are crazy. I want to do that. And then I made the wackest beats for the longest time. But hey, from there, yeah, I just tapped into my local community. Like I said, I'm from Kenosha, Wisconsin. I just stayed tapped in, continued to make music, continued to be inspired over the years.
Is there a vibrant beat scene in Kenosha?
Nah.
You can say yeah. You can say no.
But you know, growing up and all the people that I met over the years, like, there's some that made their own beats, and that was like an inspiration. Like, I've seen people that made beats on like Zoom street boxes, which was hella fire. Like, and you know, people that made beats on straight hardware like MPCs, SP1200s, you know, Akai S20s, all that, SPs. Like, I've seen all of it, and like was super inspired by like all of that, and it ended up leading me to where I am now. You know, so I'm not gonna say they have the most vibrant beat scene, because I mean, in all honesty, they don't. Otherwise, I'd be doing like shows out there regularly. I'd be tapped in with it regularly, because that's where I'm from. But you know, I'm from there. They got a music scene though. You know, their rap scene is heavy. Rock scene is wild too. So that's for sure.
Yeah.
But anywho, the history, right? So
the origin
story. It's long, so I try.
No. We gotta do it.
We gotta do it.
I always do it.
Yeah. Well, I started out rapping. I met. Let's see. I met. Who did I meet first? Big Nate. Big Nate was the first rapper that I met. It was a studio I went to. This before I was really good at recording anything, because at the beginning it was like Audacity and it was trash and just wasn't going too well. So then I went to this studio. I found him on like MySpace or something back when that was like the place to be. And he let me come through, and I kind of saw his setup, and I went with my homie Lil Steve, because he also recorded there. So I was able to tap in through that, and I was able to kind of watch, and I was just like a sponge at the time. So I saw like, okay, he's using Fruity Loops. He had this style condenser microphone like in this booth, and like I kind of saw what I needed, you know, to get a decent quality sound, as well as just inspired by the creation of beats, because I wasn't really making beats. I was just rapping over beats that I would find on, at the time it was SoundClick. I don't know if people remember that. Shout out to SoundClick, man. Y'all were the truth back in the day.
Sounds familiar.
Man, SoundClick was before your BeatStars, man. We didn't have BeatStars, man. We had SoundClick. We had Tight Beats. I'm telling you.
Tight Beats?
Tight.
Tight,
like TIGHT. Tight Beats. Yeah, man. So I met a lot of dope people. That's actually the site that I met my first producer from Chicago. His name was Leif. But he was the first one that told me, yo, your samples are cold. Your drums are trash. And I needed that though. We all need that at some point for someone to just be like, bro, this is fire, but this, nah, bro, you need to fix that. And that helped me elevate my drum game. But anyways, yeah. So Big Nate. Then I want to say like a year or two later. So this is like 2008, maybe 2000. Yeah, that sounds about right. I met Brother Can Do, and that was he was kind of like a friend. He was a big friend of the family, and I was able to see like a full layer, you know what I mean, when it comes to studio gear, of someone who collects records.
Oh, a layer.
Yeah, layer, like a labyrinth.
Yeah, like not like a layer of life, but like a layer.
Yeah, like your I
like
believe people use that terminology. Like
no. I like it.
Like
it's like Dexter's laboratory. Like you
way.
go down and you're
To
like
the layer.
to the layer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get the lingo. So that was my first time seeing MPCs like SP 404s, 303s, 202s, like every piece of gear you could imagine bro had. And that was like in the thousands and thousands of records. Like he's the first person that gave me my first like 400 records probably, to make beats off of. And that's what really got me into like, yo, all right, so I want to try to make sample based music, because I was like, using Fruity Loops, playing guitars, like thinking I'm killing it. It was just not where it's at. And yeah, that really did it. And that led me to getting my first MPC 2000. That led me to getting what I had, like Emu ESI. I can't remember what number. It's like a 2000 or 3000 or something. It was a rack mount sampler. And that was my first time getting any of those. And that changed everything. Because before I had that, I was just making beats on Fruity Loops. I had records. I was sampling the records. He gave me my first turntable, first DJ mixer.
Mm-hmm.
I had a Gemini before he took that back and gave me something else. But he was like, I need that Gemini back, dog. That's just tight. I'm like, all right, for sure. But that was really the basis for me, man. Brother Can Do, shout out to you, man. And from there, it's been a plane. I still rapped. I worked with the local community, a lot of the homies, just making music, producing for them, making whole like albums for them. Like I was already into this in 08, 09, 2010, 2011. Like I was already making albums of music, my own albums, selling them in high school, like burning them to CD, pushing analog mediums. Like we was already doing that, so yeah, that's yeah. And I was recording, like she said, I was recording everybody too, like at my dad's house. That's all. Like the story is it's crazy. At my pop's house, man, I gutted my whole closet. I didn't even have a closet. I just said fuck a closet. Gutted the shit, took the pole down, gutted everything in there, and then just put I remember we helped his neighbors that he was friends with move. They were like loading a bunch of stuff into a trailer or something, me and my cousin Chris. And I got a whole bunch of like foam. I don't even think it was studio foam, but it was just foam. And I was like, this is perfect. I've been looking for something like this because I used to just put covers up because that's all I had to kind of soften the tone. So then I put all that stuff up everywhere, plus the covers, and it was beautiful. And I would just have everybody in the city. I was like the best person at recording. Have everybody in the city coming by, recording their songs, mixing their songs, selling them, doing it for the low, like $10 a song, $20 a song for the low, not making no bread, but enough to get some trees. And it was great. Yeah, that was a hell of a time.
Damn.
Yeah, facts. Then I met my wife, Yeah, my mom's basement. When I met my wife, I was out of my dad's crib. I had a spot in Racine for a while I was making a lot of music before I got kicked out of there for, weed. It's crazy. But anyways.
Do you still smoke these days?
No, I don't.
No
I let
more?
it go. But I was a true stoner of stoners.
Did it help the craft? Do you miss it?
No, I don't anymore. I think now I'm able to streamline. I feel like when I was high, it's harder to streamline. Your
I
brain
can't
is
concentrate
gone.
fully.
You're in in a different space. Like you're in full creative. It's even hard to be consistent. You know what I mean? Sometimes. So
Yeah, actually what you just said, the full creative.
yeah.
Where it's like you have no discipline to
No.
get the work done. Like, yeah, you're like, whoa, that would be really cool. But then you're just like,
You forgot.
spacey. Yeah.
5 minutes.
That's how I am too.
I'm hungry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that was, but a lot got done, you know, because I worked with so many people. Like around that time too, living in Racine, this probably had to be like 2012. I remember I got in contact with Robot Army and the homie Jason Davis, and that was my first time tapping into the Chicago scene. Since I'm kind of jumping around year to year, you know, it's been a while, but I do remember this was a huge advancement for me because it was the first time with me working with artists that were from Chicago. And yeah, we were still big stoners, but I noticed that like I had to be like workable. Even like you had to work even though you were high. You know, I had to get beats done because I wanted to make albums, or like recording, I had to get mixes done because I wanted to have this feature. Like I met Vic Spencer way back then. I met D2G way back then. Like I met these cats before, like way before now, and they're so big now, like it's crazy. And like you know, working with these cats back then in like 2012 and making songs like Schmoggy Eyes, like it was you know, it was wild, you know. Ruby Hornet days, Fake Shore Drive days, when that shit was like super. It's not saying it's not popular now, you know, but it was it was the blog era, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was at its biggest, and those were crazy times, man. Climbing on rooftops, man. I remember we shot a video to Tune, I think it's called Tune In by Jason Davis. Like I produced the whole album Spectrums of the Mind, and we came out here. I drove out to the city, met these cats at Ruby Hornet's like base location. It was kind of like it was an apartment, but it had, you know, everybody that worked for Ruby Hornet stayed at this apartment, including the videographers, etc. So like we got there and we went up and we chilled. We got some snacks like on this huge fucking back patio. It was wild. I think this spot was in like Boys Town or something. And like we had to climb the side of a building with no like, there's no like you know how you can climb up to the next tier of the roof, but there's kind of like a
ladder of some
there's
sort.
a ladder with like like usually you go, it's almost like a chute kind of thing, you know, so that if you fall, at least you just fall straight. There's none of that shit.
Yeah.
It was just bars on the side of a building, and we had to climb to the next level if we wanted to shoot this video. So I climbed my big ass up there, man. Everybody else climbed up there. It was super sick. We did it at like I forgot, the magic hour, I believe is what they call it, which is like around
like golden hour.
Yeah, so it was so fire. Tune In, yeah, that was a good. Like I said, I produced that. But you know, those were crazy times, like working on the city, and that's how I got introduced to the Chicago music scene.
So okay, thank you for taking us through, you know, just like how you got into it, basically.
Yeah, I would say, because about now it starts to get into, I'm living in Illinois, you know. I'm tapping into the local scene. I'm like, you know, I want to make beats more, because I took a pause from it too. I didn't even get into the Scholars. I was a part of a beat
The
making.
Scholars? What's the Scholars?
I was part of a beat making like a group called the Scholars, and we sold beats on SoundClick. We were really popular, actually. We had like millions of plays and like a whole lot of sales. You know, but as people grow and have different intentions, we ended up going our different ways. But that was me and the homie, what was bro that? Mikey Supreme. So me and Mikey Supreme, and that's how I met one of my good friends, John Loomy. That's originally how I met him. He was a part of the Scholars as well, but he ended up being more focused on being a Latin hip hop artist, who's killer. Shout out to you, Loomy. But yeah, like we sold a lot of beats, bruh, and like that was like a whole thing. I don't know why I was tying that in right now, but yeah,
there's just a lot. Like what I'm gathering is there's just a lot of,
it's been a long,
different tentacles of the network, and like you know, it's all through beat making, basically.
Yeah, beat making, recording, rapping. Because I did a lot of rap, put my own albums out, you know. I had a blast, you know. But yeah, after all that, met the wife, ended up in Illinois. I stopped making beats for a while after the beatmaking group thing. I was just like turned off from the whole thing. She remembers that. I don't know, this was like 2015, 2014. I just was like, I don't really want to make beats no more. I kind of want to just focus on engineering. And I literally focused on mixing and mastering as a craft and as a business for like, I want to say almost 6 years at that point. Like from maybe the end of 2014 or so. I didn't make beats. I barely made beats. Even if I did, it was like for myself. I'd rap on them, but I would never really do nothing with them. And I did that till about 2020. And then I was like, I found Koala.
Oh yeah, the little app
for
people who don't know, it's like a kind of like an SP for your phone.
SP404 on steroids. That's right.
On steroids.
That shit's Koala sampler's crazy. If you want to make beats, get Koala sampler. You know, Elf Audio.
Is it free?
No.
Yeah, Elf Audio
$7
sponsor us.
Like, let me get a sponsorship, brother. But it's like, you know, it's like $4 or $5 for the base app, and then like there's like a $6 upgrade to get the Ninja mode thing. And then if you want the mixer, I think it's like another $6. But I mean, for you're talking $16 maybe, you get an SP404 literally on steroids. I mean, the shit has piano mode, the shit has sample slicing, auto slicing, manual slicing, mixing buses now. It has like a whole mixer built into it with 4 different buses and a master bus. A performance mode with effects and filters and stutters and pitch drops and shit. It's crazy. And I think now you can either in the app or using AUM, you can use like plugins that are called AVU3 or something like that. AU3, some kind of format, but it's basically like plugins you would have on your computer, but they're on the iPad.
The ones that are for Mac and or whatever.
But their shit's called like AU3, which is for like the iPad.
Like an iPad. Okay.
Yeah, and you can literally use these plugins, you know, Pro Q filter, EQs and all type of shit.
Dude, my phone would explode. Like,
you would think so, but it runs pretty solid.
Really?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. So then it's wild what you can do, man, now. I'm telling you. Like when I started on Koala, none of that was a thing. It was just Koala and that was it. And I made Carpe Diem on that. I made Fool's Paradise on that. And that's kind of how this whole started. And then I was really like, yo, bae, I want to play beats. Like, I want to, like, there's got to be more people than just me, man.
That want to play beats.
That want to do beats. I'm like, what the fuck? I feel like, I have this album, I have all these beats, these are fire, but I don't want to focus on trying to give them to rappers. She was like, what do you mean? I'm like, I just don't want to do that. I went that route. I did that for...
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, like, I make beats, and I don't, like, yeah, I'm like, okay, a rapper could be on this because there's space for that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm not. It wasn't the focus. I did.
This
it for
is
so
actually
long,
like a good point to get into. Like, there's a lot of other people that feel that same way.
Yeah.
And you know, going to things like open beats, going to a lot of the beat shows, you realize that people literally just want to rock out to like boom bap, hip hop, like trap, whatever, beats, whatever.
Trap, lo-fi, EDM. I want to hear it all, man. I love broken beat, ambient. I love all that stuff, bro. Like, there's so many different genres, you know what I mean?
So you like felt this in yourself, like there's got to be other people out there, because like this is what I'm saying, like not everyone knows about this, but it is at the same time like a prosperous, or like not prosperous, like a, what am I trying to say? There's a lot of people involved with
a cult following
the beat scene. Yeah.
There's a cult following to it. There's a huge following to it.
So how did you find your way into just people not doing the whole like, oh, I got to find a rapper for this to sell it or whatever? Like,
so obviously, like I said, I had did that for a really long time. You know, 2006. You know, I started with it was, that's all I cared about for now more than almost 14 years. That's all I did. You know, it was artists. My music has to be paired with an artist of some sort. You know what I mean? And I finally was like, I want to try and find a community that's like that has the same intent, or at least a place to play my music. And I did a whole lot of searching. I mean, a whole lot of searching. And I finally came across when Open Beats was at Cafe Mustache. So shout out to Fest Grandiose, Push Beats, DJ Uncle L, love. So I was at Cafe Mustache, but they weren't at Cafe Mustache anymore, and I had no clue where it was at. And I had no idea where anything was at, and I couldn't find anything. Mind you, I'm still in the, I'm in the North Burbs. I don't know the community. I don't know anybody. So all I did was I started following all of the people that were following these pages. I just started following people and following everybody, man. And then it led to finding the person who actually did Open Beats. And then it was Fest. And then asking the Fest and the page like multiple times, man. I probably sent like 10 messages like, yo, like, when's the next one? When's the next one? How do I play? How do I play? He's like, finally got back to me like, yo, be here at this time, And I was hella late the first time. I'm always late. Baby getting on my case.
You were here early, though.
Yeah, we were here early, though.
Yeah.
Because she said, let's go. Facts. I was playing around with my stuff in the studio. So shout out to Bae for that. She's always coming through. But yeah, so I pulled up. I was late, but I made this crazy impression on Fest because I told him like, hey, yo, like, man, my name's B4Lasers. I hit you on IG. He's on the stage. I'm like, I'm here to play, hopefully. And he was like, man, you're pretty late, man. I'll put you on, but I don't think you'll be able to play tonight. I said, man, you know what, bro? It's all good. If I can't play tonight, bro, I'm gonna play outside after the set. And he was like, that's crazy. For sure. All right. And I was like, whatever. I don't think I played though. I was hella nervous. But what I did do, you remember this? We went outside the next day. And in the parking lot of my apartment, we set up the SP. I plugged it into my car. I opened up all the doors, and I just turned it up, and I went live on IG. And I tagged him in it. And I was like, I told you I was going to play outside because if I didn't get to play, I'm live right here. And he saw it, and he watched it. He was like, bro, this man is spazzing. He was like, I fucked up. Why did not let him play? I swear to God, this is the real story. And I went the next month and I played, and then it's been up ever since.
Yeah.
And that's the navigation to why I'm here in the city.
I was talking to Damo.
Am I missing? What I miss? Yeah, but I was just talking about I did skip over the DuckWorld part. That's right.
We're gonna get to DuckWorld. We're gonna get to DuckWorld because I want to ask you about that because there's a lot of.
But I mean, in general, here though, I think the DuckWorld thing came a little. Was that before? Yeah, but that was like after the first like set, right? No, this was before. See, that's so much shit I can't even remember anymore. This is why
it's okay. My timeline's all.
She's on my. This is why she's on my payroll.
I mean, so I don't know. I was gonna ask, like, there's lore in the sense, like, I was at an event. I met Damo, and
do the most.
He was telling me like the deeper lore of like who was doing open beats style things. Do we call it open beats or like beat shows or like open beats is Fest's thing?
Yeah, open aux.
Open aux,
considered, okay. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I feel like Fest is kind of like, in my eyes, my first entrance into the scene. His feels the most prominent in Chicago, although the Open Swim feels like they're doing cool stuff. Chopping Block is cool. I mean, I don't know, there's probably a lot. I know that there's a lot because you're involved with a lot of them, but
there's Push Beats, which was before, which I think still involved Fest when it was like DJ Uncle L and Fest and a bunch of other cats,
it's just really like, I'm almost trying to go back to like the beginning. Like, is there a place where like this idea started, where it's like, like the whole like first DJ set, like that's kind of a documented thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is there
like, we got a guy, we know who it was, I'm forgetting his name, fucking
Yeah,
can't think of it. But there's like documentaries. Like, are there documentaries about like the beat scene?
Man, no,
Not right now.
and it's needed. It's needed.
Maybe
man.
we'll make one over here at a Poducer. I don't know. That'd be sick. Because like I really want to know. It's not like it's just like, yo, we just wanted to play music, but we didn't need like a rapper or anything. And not to say that rappers aren't at the shows either.
And it makes a
They
super
sometimes are.
dope like combination. Like I remember I played. What was it when we did Enjoy? Right, that was Live Beat Chicago with Rudolph. That's another one. That was the first one I got to play at. Right, but it was the same. It was the same month as Open Beats, but it was like earlier in the month.
Yeah.
And I came across because I met them. I met all these guys at the first Open Swim, and Rudolph was like, "Yeah, I'm doing my own. I do this other thing at the Enjoy," and I played there, and it was crazy, having like Jay Post and Moses the Martyr, who are all in S Rock. This was me and S Rock and shit. Yo, this story is crazy, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I never realized how.
No, it's deep.
Vast, yeah, man.
Yeah, there's so many names that you're
I was already part of Duck. Oh yeah, so I was already doing the Duck World stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because Duck World came through during COVID when we didn't have. There was no performances. That was why. There it is. There it is. So that's why. All right. DuckWorld808 came out with Duck Girl created it. Shout out to DuckGirl808 and Klopsy, Slow 90 and the Tapefelt family. They Ricky, but they're the core of DuckWorld808 and creating it because Duck Girl wanted to make beats. So she came across it her and Klopsy came up with this thing to do a sample flip challenge. I think it was like every week or every day or every week or something like that. And what would happen was so that she would be making beats and getting better, right? And then the homie Ricky, who was who also like joined in on the fun. This was all online.
Yeah,
he put a post in his story and was like, "Hey, yo, anybody that wants to, do a sample flip challenge like every week or like twice or whatever it was in the beginning, join in." I was like, "Hell yeah, join ASAP!" Because I'm like, "Fuck, I get to flip samples for free. I don't have to pay anything." It was like a Instagram chat that's still here to this day with like hundreds of people in it. It's crazy, and that's how I got that. That was getting tapped into the Duck World, and like I wanted to help with it because I wanted to see it grow. So we started doing. I mean, we just segued into it. So
no. Because I want to hear it. But the first time that I met Going Somewhere, who kind of like, that was the first time I went to Open Beats.
Yeah.
Not to go down a tangent, but like,
you good?
He was there. He was a new guy. I was there. I was a new guy. And Fest let us go first. He went first, and then I went second.
Fire.
And but he was telling me, he's like, "Dude, you got to follow like Duck World, and you got to follow this guy B4Lasers. Like he'll get you tapped in. Like you got to figure out." Like he just gave me the whole spiel, and like what is kind of the spiel?
Yeah.
know?
So it was a weekly sample flip challenge to get Duck Girl better at making beats because she was just starting. She's absolutely fire now. So I joined in on that, and I wanted to help. I was like, she asked in the group, like, did anybody kind of want to, help do things to make the community more feel like a community, not just a chat where I drop this random sample every week. Like, let's build. So then I was like, yeah, I'd help with whatever. And then I ended up being a part of DuckWorld808,
like a moderator,
kind of, yeah. There you go. Like we need moderators because it's an online thing,
Yeah.
And then we made a Discord because we were doing the Discord shit heavy, and I was like, I was doing like anime nights where we would all get together and watch animes on Discord. I'd be streaming it right there so you could watch it in HD, and we'd be making beats live and kicking it in the rooms and just helping each other out with questions and gear questions and all that stuff. And we just stayed tapped in. And then she was like, I remember one day after like just putting in work and like seeing we all working together and seeing it grow and Duck World become what it is like now, and it's such a household name, that she was like, "You need a Chicago chapter." I was like, I don't want to do that. We were just talking about this. I'm like, nah, I don't know about that, man. You know, Chicago's different. You got to have clout to do shit. Like, if you don't have no clout, nobody's going to.
Yeah.
And then she was like, it's like a day later, like 2 days later, she's like, well, I made an Instagram account. Yeah, good luck. Kick me off the edge of the cliff. You should run it. I want you to run it. And she gave me the login, and then that's how DuckWorld Chicago was born. She really literally kicked me off the cliff to start it, because I was most definitely hella nervous and didn't want to do it. And I was just like, I don't want to do it. I don't know. I'm not ready. No. And look at me today. So shout out to you for that. And my wife for having my back and pushing me through all that and helping me understand that I needed to build community, which is something that she was telling me when I was looking for places to play beats. She was like, why don't you make that then?
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
what? I didn't see it then. She had the vision then. This was before Open Beats and before DuckWorld. She had the vision then. You should just create the place for people to play beats. She was like, you just build your community. And it came later. We ended up with the Beatmakers Toolbox, and you know, and it's become a really, really, really big and dope home away from home for beatmakers. It's almost like a party, I feel like.
Yeah.
But that's how DuckWorld Chicago and the DuckWorld808, at least for me and my story, came together.
Yeah. You still do it? Is it weekly challenges?
Yep, I'm the host of the. I really help host like the whole thing now, so I'm constantly moderating, constantly sharing content in the groups and making sure people feel, you know, good, and responding to everybody and helping Duck Girl out with that. And then I also do the weekly sample flip challenge. So every Sunday, at some point in the day, because life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you gonna get. I release a sample pack. Either I will be the curator, or like for next year, I have a full year's list already laid out of all the curators for every month.
The people that dig for the samples.
Will dig the samples, yeah. And then I also I had this idea where I wanted to keep it to like vinyl, because it sounds better for the people that are getting these samples to be able to make beats.
Yeah.
So I'm also pushing everybody that's a curator for next year to sample off vinyl only, or if they don't feel like doing the work, they just buy the records or pick the records out their collection, send them to me, I'll clean them, I'll do the sampling.
Clean them meaning that's
clean
like
the wax so that it's nice and crispy when I record it. I have a really good turntable and a really good phono amp, so everything sounds really good.
What's a funnel amp?
A phono amp is yeah, so a turntable usually puts out some put out line signal, so you can just plug it into your mixer.
Yeah.
But some only do phono, and it's the original like signal.
Is that like instrument level, or is it different?
It's really quiet. It's really, really, really quiet.
Oh,
and it needs a lot of gain.
Oh.
And
that makes sense. It's just the needle's like how does that even make noise?
You know what I'm
saying? Crazy, yeah.
And there's probably way more to it than that. So I don't want to be like I'm a turntable specialist or anything. But I did pick like a tube phono amp that I found. Amazon has everything.
Dude, they do. That's been our conversation for like most of this show. Or like before we got on, it was just like Amazon,
baby.
Yeah.
He said, "Where'd you get that camera?" Amazon.
Yeah.
And but yeah, so I'll record all the samples. I've done it for Miyagi Records. I've done it for
God, you're involved. There's so many places you're involved with. It's just like hard for me to keep track.
It's just hard for me to keep track
too.
That's why
I actually don't know how you do it. Yeah.
I don't know. You know who says that all the time? Duck Girl says that all the time. I don't know how you do it. I don't get it. I'm like, I just go. Like you just go, and you just don't stop going.
Just say
unless
yes.
you're tired. Yeah, we just let's go.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so also with the weekly sample flip challenge. So depending on who the curator is for the month, right? They'll send me their pack in advance, and I'm able to, if they haven't organized it into weeks, I'll organize it into weeks, like 33, 34, 35, 36. Like right now we're on week 35 because I took a break for December because Christmas and the holidays.
Yeah, for sure.
So I have the samples picked out, and I usually record the whole song because I want people to flip whatever they want. I just find the best music that I like. And obviously, if like say you're the curator, you pick whatever songs you want, you know, and stuff. Unless you don't feel like doing that, you just pick a bunch of records, you send them to me. I'll do that. And I'll also tap in with producers like I did with Going Somewhere and Kilroy Washers, their latest pack for this month for December.
Oh,
the Messy
no,
Room drum kit.
Wait, is that through DuckWorld?
No. That's their own thing.
Okay,
but
what
I do is, so like say you were releasing a drum kit and you got something coming up and you want to tap in with the community, right? Yeah, I'm talking to you right there. Yeah, I'm talking to you. So the drum kit you've been making, right? I would, hopefully, if you didn't mind, give me a copy of the drum kit. You know what I'm saying? And from there, I will pick my favorite sounds. I'll probably make a few beats with it to start, but I'll pick what my favorite sounds are. And I'll make a couple small demo kits out of your drum kit. If it's all breaks, I might slice up some of your breaks and make these legitimate one-off one-shots that you hadn't even made. Shout out to Tortilla Couture. I did that for Tortilla's kit. He did all loops. I chopped them up and made one-shots that weren't even in his packs. These were legitimately demos for DuckWorld's weekly sample flip challenge only. And I'll pick a few sounds. I'll do that. So say there's 4 weeks in a month. I'll do maybe 4 or 5 per pack. I do 3 weeks where I do that, where I'll do 3 different ones. And then on the 4th week or the last week of the month, I'll put a recap of all the drums. This way people are getting drums, they're getting percussion, sometimes bass sounds, and they're getting samples in these packs. And we do it every week and it's free. I don't charge anything. There's no Patreon or anything. You just tap into the DuckWorld_Chicago or the DuckWorld808 or me at B4Lasers on IG. And you can find it all in the link trees and the bios. It'll all take you where you need to go to get the samples to make some fire ass beats. All right.
Gotcha.
So that's the weekly sample flip challenge. Little lengthy, but
I mean,
it's worth it.
Yeah. I mean, that was your, first thing. Like, I would say that DuckWorld's the first thing. You said something before where you were saying how like DuckWorld's like a household name.
Yeah.
Out of the beat communities that live online, what is like the gold standard? Like, because the one that I'm familiar with, and it's not even the same type of beats, is Team Supreme. And they do like, it's like more in the like trappy era of things. So it's not as like, it's not the same. But I mean, like, is there kind of a gold standard for the type of beat scene that we're talking about?
I would say kind of like Sidechain Society.
Sidechain Society?
Yeah, that's Stolen Drums. That's his community. I think that's at least for me, inspiration wise, to want to make something with people, to give them some place to feel, like I said, at home, and not just out in the wild when nobody will respond to you, nobody will like your beat that you post, nobody will respond and let you know how your drums sound, nobody will share information or content with you, no one will give you free drums or free sample packs. Like, I feel like that was a place that was he has a Discord and there's an Instagram community for it, and whatever else places he has for it. But I think, in my opinion, that's probably the gold standard. It's very active. He is constantly doing lives, and it's
online. Is there like a home base for it? Or
I believe now he's doing like a lot of live, like in-person events, like in Atlanta. I think he does Controllerized and he does some other
Atlanta
events. I believe that's where he's at, if I'm not mistaken. But
you can Google it.
You can Google it.
Yeah.
But shout out to bro, man. He's really cool. He's a really cool cat. He's very chill, humble guy.
Does it feel competitive at all?
No.
Because it doesn't seem like that. It's just like, oh, yo, you make beats, cool.
Yeah, cool. Join in. I do like. So I'm gonna say that about DuckWorld808. Now, DuckWorld Chicago, I'm trying to blow these motherfuckers out the water, bro. Every time I make a beat, bro, I ain't trying to play with y'all and I feel like everybody else is the same way, but it's like a family. It's like a family competition. You know what I mean? It's like a friendly slap boxing match. You know what I mean? And that's where I feel like you get. This is where it slides in, and that's the Beatmakers Toolbox, big dog. That's where that starts to come into play for me, and for wanting to have my own outlet. Plus, we'll flip a beat club. We ain't even get there yet.
Yeah,
there's a lot.
There's a lot. No, I know. I mean, maybe we could just like spend some time and kind of just go through them and go and talk about how they're different and how you can get involved.
We can kick it off. We'll kick it off with the Beatmakers Toolbox. So the Beatmakers Toolbox is an event that me and
basically, I'll just say this really quick.
Yeah.
This is like, if you don't know anything about the beat making scene, you're about to lay it all out. Like this is like a lot of shit that's going on in Chicago and on the internet, and just like if you make beats and you feel a similar way, like listen to what he's about to say.
What is it? We want you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But no, seriously. So if you've listened this far, through the sample pack challenges and through my life's tribulations and stories, we have made it to the Beatmakers Toolbox portion. So the Beatmakers Toolbox is an amazing, I call it a party, because that's what it feels like to me. It feels like a family reunion when you haven't seen your family for a while, and all your distant cousins and all your homies, and so they pull up with the friends of the family. Everybody's just ready to eat and have a good old time. That's what the Beatmakers Toolbox feels for me, because me and the wife's idea was we would do it every 3 months. So every 3 months or so, because we flipping it up for my birthday, so it's going to 4 months, so we can land in April. I'll see you there at Miyagi Records. But at Miyagi Records, because that's where we've been doing it so far, we have tables set up. I come in early. I set up a bunch of tables, usually. Like last time I did a dolo too, didn't I? Yeah, man. So I'll pull up early at, I say about 12 o'clock, maybe 11:50. I set up all the tables, set up chairs, I set up turntables, set up power strips, and they let me go through their record collection. Like I could just go through whatever record I want, and I usually pick 3 or 4 records. If you are coming from far out of town, like the homies Easy Web, shout out Easy Web. If you're coming from like St. Louis or some shit to come kick it with us, I'll let you pick the records, because Mo's like, that's a genius idea to make people feel like you give a fuck that they even came, you know what I mean, and not just here to make beats. So you coming from out of town, or it's your birthday or something, let us know. Let me know ahead of time. We'll do something for you. We're gonna make sure you feel, loved, because that's what it's about. So I set up the turntables, the tables, the chairs, all that stuff. I pick a couple records, or I have someone who comes through pick a few records. Those records are put on stands at each turntable, and they're available for you to sample. You can make whatever beats out of those records that you want. It's already set up with all of the dongles that you need. If you make beats on Koala, I got the USB.
Got dongles.
Yeah, I got the USB, the lightning joints for you. If you making beats on a Android tablet, you need USB-C. I got that for you. You making beats on a computer, I got the regular USB. You got MPC. I got you with the line-in joints. You got the old SP. I got you with the RCAs. Like, it doesn't matter. I also print out QR codes for the DuckWorld sample flip challenge, because the Beatmakers Toolbox normally has so far always landed on a Sunday. It's usually the second Sunday, right? So the second Sunday in the month, I print out the DuckWorld Weekly Sample Flip Challenge on flyers, so that you can use a QR code to easily go there and also access those samples, because there's only like 3 or 4 turntables. And then also on top of that, the last 2 events I've given away over 70 records at each one. Wow. Free. It's just a box of just all type of stuff that either I've handpicked or had in my collection that I flipped already and I wanted to let go of, so I could get some new stuff in and not just have my wife tripping over records, because we don't want that, do we, boo boo? So we also do that, and we also have a chef that's usually in house that will be selling plates which is an amazing thing because, you know, you're making all these beats, you get hungry, right? I got free beer, free sodas, free water, because my wife says hospitality is everything. Make sure motherfuckers is good, because then they'll know you give a fuck about them. And yeah, we kick it, and people make beats for a few hours. You come through at about 2 o'clock. Everybody comes in, they kick it. We have a good time. People make their beats. People cook up. And then the last like hour, from 5 to 6, I do a live aux where everybody's able to play live. And the cool thing is that I'm going to continue doing, because people really love it. I run everybody into a mixer. This mixer runs into my SP, and I actually do stutters, filters, drops, and effects, and run my siren while people are playing live. So they're even getting like extra stutters and effects, because this just makes it so much more fun. It feels like a teamwork when we up there and we creating and we having a blast. I stream it live to IG so everybody can tap in and have a good time. And yeah, so that's the Beatmakers Toolbox in a nutshell. Then we all clean up. Don't forget to help clean up. And then we all go home.
Nice.
Shout out Miyagi. Yep.
Miyagi,
Shout out
yeah.
Miyagi Records, man. I want to make sure. I always got to look at the wife, make sure I ain't forgetting. I appreciate you, baby. Shout out Miyagi Records. True, Maker, love you. They always open their doors for us to be able to do that. And they're good to the community. Yeah, man. They're good people. They give to the community, man. You can walk up and they got a free record bin in the front of the establishment. Like most of the time, it's outside, free records. You just take them. You know.
I got a quick tangent question.
Yeah,
I mean,
of
it goes along with the records. How many records do you think you have at home?
I just got like 120 more.
120
from her
more?
uncle. Yeah, shout out Uncle Otis. I love you, big dog. We were over there for Christmas, and he was like, "Man, I got all these records in my basement. You can have them, motherfucker." I'm like, "Really? Yeah, I don't want that shit." I said, "For sure."
It's heavy, yeah.
Yep,
It's a lot of space.
And then me and her grandma, we went downstairs, and you should see her grandma. She's like, this is 80 what? 89? 88. She's probably faster than you, bro.
Really?
I swear to God, I can't make this up. She's carrying records upstairs. I'm like, bro, what are you? You're gonna break a shin. No, I'm not. Like, that's crazy. She's a legend. So we was downstairs. We got all the records. But me, say like 250, 300 at the crib right now, probably. I'd say like.
Okay,
I'd say
so that
like
was a big
250,
come up.
right
120 records.
After
Yeah.
the first 500 flooded.
Yeah, we ain't gonna forget about that.
No.
Yeah, like I said earlier in this, wrapping it back to Brother Can't Do, he gave me my first 400 records probably. And I remember I had to fill my trunk with these records. I had an Impala at the time. I had to just, because he needed the totes for more records he was getting. So I had to just dump them in my trunk. And I just had hundreds of records, like literally weighing down my Impala. And I drove all the way home with them shits. And I took totes out of my mom's basement and just put them in there. And then there ended up being a flood in her basement. And I lost some of the best shit I never got to flip. But,
Damn.
yeah.
Because they get warped and shit, right?
Yeah, if they get wet, man, it's you know, the record might be good, but the sleeve in the is fucked. And if you let it dry, like
With the
with the
sleeve
record
on.
inside,
Oh.
it's a wrap, because then you basically are pulling off the glue and the paint, and it's a wrap for that record usually. It's pretty much over with, yeah.
Damn.
So yeah, I'd say
Okay,
right now
okay.
about 250, 300.
Okay, cool. This made me think of a nice like little wrap-up question too. But we'll keep going from here. We got, what else do we got in the beat? We'll call it the toolbox, but it's not the toolbox because that's already a thing. And
Yeah, well, we got the next thing up is Flip a Beat Club. So Flip a Beat Club, man. Boom. That's a beat making event that was created once again out in the West Coast. If I believe this would be Sacramento, because that's where DiBiase and Mons Rock are. But they have an event that they do on the third Friday of every month called Flip a Beat Club. There are chapters all over the United States, as well as one in Toronto, Canada. It is a similar inspirations to like the weekly sample flip challenge and things like that. There's a pack that's curated, either records or actual like compositions by producers like Mulate, etc. That is curated for us to sample. It comes out, the crate comes out that Friday, usually around like 5 o'clock. I'm saying Central Time, by the way. So if you're Pacific, that's 3, or New York, that's 6. So anyways, online, you're able to join. There's a Zoom that everybody can join in on. So if you don't have a chapter near you, you are still able to join into the worldwide chapter, because everybody's welcome. And then if there is a chapter in your city, usually at a record store of some sort or a small space, everybody pulls up and they bring all their beat making gear. We set up tables. We do ours. Shout out to Chantella and his wife for Beverly Phonomart. This is out on the south side. We have a chapter that we worked really hard to get here in Chicago that we have now. And we all join on Zoom as well. So the chapters are also on this Zoom. So you have not only 50, 60 people that join or more that don't have a chapter or either couldn't make it to their local chapter, plus the 20, 30 people that are at each chapter on Zoom as well. So now you just have all these people that are all making beats off the sample packs that has been curated. And then they kind of do a round robin where each chapter gets like 15, 20, depending on how many people are there, 15, 20, 30 minutes, to play their beats live on Zoom. But you're also technically playing it live in-house for all the people that are kicking it too. And yeah, that is Flip a Beat Club. I'm one of the hosts with my homie Backpack Beats. Also shout out to MC Decay and the homie DJ Sean Doe, huh? Yeah, and Frequent Flyer, man. Can't forget about Frequent. He was finna drop that one too, because that boy is a beast on the beats and outstanding on the camera, man. And yeah, so we host Flip a Beat Club for the Chicago scene. And yeah, that's what that is. That's another party. We do that every month, third Friday. Beverly Phonomart or online. You just follow Flip a Beat Club on Instagram, and you'll always know. They will just follow, turn on a notification. There will be a bleep that comes up when we're dropping. They do one like the week of, like a flyer. The addresses are on there, everything.
It feels like, throughout the month, there's like the possibility for a beat show every week if it's spaced out correctly. Oh yeah, when the chopping block is active, because right now they're on Stepchild, mad love, bro, and it's Slade, mad love, Open Swim, they're on vacation right now. So when those are active, that was kind of like when me and my wife were talking about like the date that I wanted to do like Beatmakers Toolbox. I was very specific on why I picked the second Sunday. Yeah. Because normally you end up with either Live Beat Chicago or the chopping block at like the top of the month. And it's normally like a Saturday or something. They usually do it. So then you have Live Beat Chicago or the chopping block or both of them, depending on if they're, they're active and not, having something that they got to do. Then the second Sunday you get the Beatmakers Toolbox. Then the following Friday is, because the second Sunday leads to the third Friday every time. So the second Sunday, third Friday is Flip a Beat Club. So then normally, if I remember correctly, the Open Swim is the day before Flip a Beat Club normally. So there's Beatmakers Toolbox the second Sunday, then there's Open Swim, then there's Flip a Beat Club, and then there's Open Beats at the end of the month. Open Beats is at the end, yeah.
It's crazy.
There's a lot. Yeah. And there's probably more.
There's probably more that I don't even know of that are happening in Chicago. If you are doing that,
I'd be kind of surprised if you didn't know about it at this point. I would you seem like you
probably have. But Chicago's big, man. Chicago's a big place. So, who knows? If you are doing that, tap in. I want to know about it. I want to pull up. I want to play some beats. Oh, yeah. So make sure you follow me at B4Lasers. B4Lasers. No Z's.
He's like a commercial.
One big.
Everybody.
This
Yeah,
this
it's
would be a
all
fun little question. Is you know, why B4Lasers?
Okay, so it's always funny when I say this because people are like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense." So I got my first batch of records. Right, I have all these records at the time. They're in my bedroom, at my mom's house. I got my first turntable, sitting here. I made like this fire ass beat in Fruity Loops. It was gas. And I'm just looking at this turntable, I'm looking at this DJ mixer, and I'm looking at these records, and I'm just like, and I pressed the CD button on my laptop at the time because they came with CD drives. I don't know if some of you youngins.
Mine doesn't even have one anymore.
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying. So it comes out, I see the laser. I'm like, I look at that. I'm telling you, I was probably just high as shit in the room, like, I look at the vinyl. I look at the laser. I look at the vinyl. I look at the laser. I'm like, B4Lasers. And then I was like, B4Lasers. I like that. It's got a ring to it. And I tagged it on my turntable. Tagged it. I still have this slip mat. I don't know if you ever noticed it. It's in the studio on the wall. I still have this slip mat to this day. It's right there. I tagged B4Lasers on it, you know, and that was it. And it's been B4Lasers ever since.
How many slip mats do you have?
I think four.
Oh,
four.
okay. I think you're gonna be like 4D. I'm like,
nah. I got two that one's on my Newmark that I don't really use, and then one's just in a bag on the side that was also like another Newmark one. And then I got the one that's on my wall that says that's tagged. That's just history. I believe that's a Technique one. And then the one that I use on my turntable is this dope ass Vinyl Moon. We haven't even. That's what it was. Remember, I was trying to think of what the other topic was. The Vinyl Moon feature. I couldn't remember, but I knew there was something else I was missing that I also was a part of. That's hella dope. So we can slide in that one.
Yeah, slide on in. I mean, whatever.
So
it's a network.
So Vinyl Moon, right? Vinyl Moon is a famous.
This is like a history lesson. It feels like
it really is,
this
man.
will be a time capsule, and people will be like, "Oh shit, he's talking about Vinyl Moon."
Thanks. I think wait. Can you see it on camera? Well, let me make sure, because I think the thing popped. All right, now we good. All right, the little thing behind me. Anyways, all right.
Oh, we're good.
So Vinyl Moon, right? Vinyl Moon is a famous. They basically make mixtapes of music that is out. Shout out to Brandon, the owner of Vinyl Moon. So he creates mixtapes with outstanding creative, like graphic design on vinyl. So he takes songs that he's heard through either his blog, The Burning Ear, or that people he knows. And if he loves it and he really feels like it will fit whatever edition he's on, I think they're like in the hundreds now, but he adds it to his list. He puts you on, and they literally press hundreds of these one-off, like, outstandingly created vinyls. Like there'll be the sickest like colorways you've ever seen, full paintings, like inserts, like the whole nine. It's insanely packaged, right? And then you as the artist get 5 of your own, and compensation for letting him utilize your music. You retain all royalties. Then it's released as well as an album on Spotify, but since you retain royalties and they use your ISRC codes, it also pops up on your page as you just a part of said album. And then your ISRC code locks, for all y'all people that don't know business, your ISRC code locks to the song that you've already released. So it's basically just taking whatever streams are coming from this and just adding it to the one that's in your main account. Yeah, it's wild. They do vinyl. It's basically a vinyl mixtape. It's the craziest shit ever. So I made it on volume 88, which was a super insane selections. But I had the last track on the B side, to thank him for my album Carpe Diem, was on that album. I'm gonna be on the January. He said I'm gonna be on the January one. So I'm looking. I can't wait for that. I'm super excited for that. So I'll be on another one as well. Yeah, that's what Vinyl Moon is.
So you can pick these up from like a record store.
So normally, they have like a whole membership program. So like, there are people that are members of Vinyl Moon, and they get like selections every month, like kind of like a record club. Have you ever seen those online record clubs before? So like, there's these clubs you can be a part of for like a little, like a certain amount a month or whatever, and you get like either whatever their release is that month, plus maybe a couple more that you get to pick every month, and they just get mailed to you. And they have a whole subscription service of people that, are like volume 88 was sold out. Like the last time I looked, it was sold out. The limited edition that I had was sold out, and the regular edition was sold out. And like the only place you can get them is like on Discogs.
Is there mixing between tracks, or is it just the selection of what is on the vinyl that's like the special part of it, the mix of it?
Yeah, it's the mix of the music that's on the vinyl. It's usually like spaced. Obviously, I believe they do, from what I've heard when I listened to it back and I played the actual vinyl, because I kept one for myself, it was like mastered for vinyl. You know, like they took the time to remaster and make sure everything was solid for the vinyl release and consistent. But I don't believe there's like a mix kind of like where someone plays it live and does like their effects or something, like selection or something. Now it's just like a mixtape, you know what I mean? Like how they used to do on cassettes, right? Back in the day, CDs,
for sure. But they're
shit,
going the extra mile and doing
to vinyl
that's and then making
wicked,
crazy
like,
art,
fucking insane art, bro. Like I can't even start to. After the interview, I'll show you. I just, because you asked me to, I saved a couple pictures of what the vinyl looked like. Like it's wild. You're gonna be like, bro, it's like one of those crazy vinyls that you see like when you go to a record store and it's like on the wall in the back with like a crazy colorway and splashes of colors and shit. Yeah, that's what he does. It's wild. So that's Vinyl Moon. Shout out to them, man. Them the homies. They're cool. It's really cool. Brandon's hella cool, man. Saying.
Thank you for putting me on, like, to a lot of stuff.
You're more than welcome, man.
Yeah,
more than welcome, bro.
And we can cover whatever else. But I did just kind of have a fun question, and this is something you mentioned before, that in the B4 or in the DuckWorld Chicago chapter that you guys would be playing anime and just watching stuff. And this is kind of a callback to the Going Somewhere interview. I asked him, I was like, what is it about like anime and lo-fi? Like, how is there a connection between there? And we were talking about Toonami and like whatever, but it is just like, is that something you don't have to be into it, but it's just like a lot of people. Why are people into the anime as like lo-fi people or just like beat makers? Is it good sampling? Is it just like, did someone do it and then it just became a thing?
That probably has a lot to do with it. I'm a huge anime head in general. Like I'm a anime nerd.
What's like a favorite?
We'll just keep it
brief.
For the keeping it brief for the popular heads, I'm gonna say Attack on Titan, right?
Okay, it just finished,
which was the darkest shit you've probably ever. You're like, bro, when I watched the commercial, this show looked like it was just gonna be crazy, murdering wild giants. Then you watch the show and you realize how absolutely depressing the show is. For like,
is it worth watching?
Yeah, hell yeah, I think Attack on Titan was worth watching.
So even though it's depressing, it's still like cool.
It's
because I have a couple of different animes that I want to watch. Yeah, that's one of them.
For the heads that don't know a lot about anime and don't watch too many, that one that's very popular, I would say Attack on Titan. One for my anime heads, I would say Mushishi. That's probably one of my favorite animes, and then that's why, like, it's the art style. I think the art style behind like a lot of the older, most specifically like 90s and early 2000s anime Like, I think the art style just lended itself towards these lo-fi instrumentals. Like, it just looked and sounded and meshed so well that they just had to go together. You know what I mean? And then, yes, you had like Toonami, Adult Swim. Not saying that, even though, yeah, Adult Swim as well. They really, they really would do like, I believe it's am I missing? I believe it's Adult Swim.
Yeah, they had like the text on the screen, then play like some like fly low beat. Yeah, and you'd be like, whoa.
I think that's where that helps.
That's where it. Yeah, okay. I think that might be. You're right. Like that might be the part where people just subconsciously. But even I don't know if you've watched like Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to the Departure album by Nujabes, and that, I mean, like even the people that made that show tapped in earlier on. I mean, I forget when that was released, but like pretty early, like, and they wanted them to make the music for the show. So like
we're gonna it was crazy.
I feel like Nujabes might have had something to do with it a little bit. Like,
I mean, he was, and I believe he's Japanese.
Is that how you say it? Nujabes or Nujabes, or I don't know.
I think I've always said Nujabes. Nujabes.
See, everyone says it differently a little bit.
But
tomato,
man. Yeah, no. When I do my lives on IG, if you lovely people slide by, I usually have an anime playing like in the middle screen. I have it broken into 3 portions. There's some lovely ducks at the bottom, my beautiful face at the top, and then anime in the middle, and it'll be playing. I usually don't have the audio up because I'm usually making beats, but
right,
it just lends to the vibe, man. I don't know.
Yeah, there's something about it that just works.
It just works, you know. Yeah. And it could be. You also got to look at. I feel like there's a huge hip hop scene in Japan.
Yeah. So
it's like it lends itself to that. Like, look at like even before like Samurai Champloo. Look at fuck. What was the name of that? It was can't remember. That's the one thing that happens when you watch too many anime. You can't remember shit. But there's like there's like this so crazy episodes. Yeah, there's like this crazy roller skating anime. Like I feel like they were very tapped into that, like that as well. Like it just had that aesthetic and it had that vibe as well. Air Gear. I wasn't gonna forget. Come on, I'm a true anime head. Stop playing with me. Air Gear, man. They were tapped into like that like punk rock of Japan. Like that 90s, early 2000s punk rock, as well as like hip hop as well.
Right.
Like it was insanely fire, and yeah. They just go together, man.
They just go together. Yeah, we don't have to think about it too hard.
They're like sausages and pancakes, when you put them two together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get pigs in a blanket. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's all I'm saying. They go together, Like,
they just make logical sense.
She said, wow. I heard that through the headphones.
Sweet and salty.
Sweet and salty. That's why my wife fell in love. Anyways.
Well, we've probably been going for a minute and we've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, totally.
I got a couple... We'll do a couple fun questions and then we'll wrap it up. Right. One thing I wanted to ask you, I mean, unless there's other things that we need to cover. I mean, there is your album. Yeah. We could quickly. I'll ask a fun question, then we'll talk about your album.
Yeah, do whatever.
Fun question is
whatever the vibe is. But fun question. Let's do it.
Most oversampled record.
Most oversampled record.
Is it like Sade? Is it like Miles Davis?
Almost anything from anything from Motown, bro. I feel like anything from Motown, anything from Marvin Gaye, Al Green, for sure. Marvin Gaye, Al Green. I do say Sade. I feel like Sade has been ran. She's not. Anyways, Sade.
It's about to be a hot take.
Yeah, we're gonna. I love her too much for that because I own, I think, almost all of her albums except for like Lovers Rock or something. So anything from Motown and Philadelphia International. So that's like that's another. I feel like a lot of that stuff's been flipped. Like a lot of that.
Philadelphia International. Is it?
Because I think that's like
Is it like funk or is it like
no, that's
more Motowny?
We ain't even got to guess. Hold on a minute. I'll tell you right now.
R&B.
Philadelphia. Don't think possibly. Hold on. Philadelphia International Records. Boom. That's like MFSB, Gamble and Huff, the OJs, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Billy Paul, Dexter Wenzel, Teddy Pendergrass. Yeah. Yeah, anything from they're great labels to collect from, but I think flip wise, man, them joints have been it's been combed through with a fine tooth comb.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I wasn't even familiar with it. I know some of those names, but like, you know, it's always nice to unlock the like record label name, and be like, oh, that's what connects all of this.
Yeah, I just recently learned. Like about that, like I heard Backpack talk about that label before, and my homie Phil Spector he talks about that label. Those are like I believe that's like one of their favorite labels, and I bet there's like records that probably haven't been flipped or touched, but their music is gas. I just feel like the artists were so famous, it's been flipped like a million times. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. So you gave us a few options.
Yeah, I'm huge into world and like wild. Like the wife will tell you, like Latin shit. Like I'm huge into like I'll find left field stuff to flip like all the time. I'm huge into like the '80s electronic scene of like violin electronic, like Jean-Luc Ponty and other like artists like that. Like I love that kind of shit because I don't feel like it gets flipped all the time. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I don't even know that genre very well. Like, I gotta tap into that. Yeah,
80s synth electronic. Like, think about the cusp of synthesized music.
Yeah,
it's the fucking 80s, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
it sounded like
sense.
Weird, dude. Everything that I feel like gets resampled from that time is like vapor wave or something. People just like screw and chop it.
Like screw. But it's always like these famous hits that get like slow. No. I'm talking
That's
about
not what you're trying to do.
No, it was already vaporished.
Yeah.
Like it was just already in its own. You couldn't even keep up with this shit if you tried. I'll play one before I dip. I'll play a song that I love from that era.
Yeah.
I think you'll like it. It's crazy. Not because I see the kalimba and other instruments over there. So
one of my few instruments. Yeah, well, there's some. Word. Okay. Well, yeah. That's
neither here nor there.
Basically, like, sample whatever you want, but those might be the tops.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Let's talk album real quick because you were talking before about how you took a really long time off music.
Yep.
And you released an album pretty recently.
Yeah.
Just why? Basically, the big question is why, and what like put you in to the mode to actually have a proper release.
Yeah. So I've went through a lot of growing pains as an artist and personally in my life, marriage, all of those things, family, mother getting old, father getting old, a lot of growing pains in life, which is where the name from the album came from. That's where it stems from.
And the name is
Growing Pains.
Yeah.
So I dropped, Carpe Diem, Fool's Paradise, and a bunch of singles, and like 2 EPs or something like that, and Amore Eterno, and a lot of this stuff was great and it was amazing and I loved it, but I wanted to tap into something just a bit more. I felt like a bit more emotional, right? Because that's how I was feeling, and this was the beats that I had, stuff that I was making on the SP, stuff that I was making on Koala. I think because of the homie Ricky, I'm very big on making sure I have proper releases for sure. Because originally, my wife will tell you, like, I would just put shit out, like.
Oh yeah, I did. Like, I did the same thing. Yeah.
Why did you just release this with no promo, no merch, no nothing? Like, you just put it out, like, You might as well just flushed it down the toilet. But so that's why I'm big on having a proper release to answer that question as well. So I try to have my music together, make sure that since I handle mixing and mastering, some people say it's sacrilegious to master and mix your own music. I like to do it because why the fuck not? And I also like to do like analog medium. I love to had Amore Eternal pressed on vinyl. But for Growing Pains, I only did cassettes. I just really wanted to do a cassette run. And it worked out really, really well. Once again, shout out to Ricky. He helped cut those for me. And, yeah. So that was pretty much the inspiration, man. I have a lot of music. I make music daily. I'm making beats every day, sometimes 3-4 beats a day it can be. And I had this collection of music. I constantly put stuff on SoundCloud privately, and I'm constantly organizing, just building like playlists of things that fit together. It's like a constant atom smash thing going on.
Like make it and then organize it later.
Yeah, so once it clicks, I usually lock it and try not to add anything else to it. And then from there, I'll decide what I want to do, what my budget is, and yeah, so.
Anything on the horizon? Anything solidified that people should be looking out for?
I think I'm gonna release. So I did put out a project on SoundCloud just for the fuck of it. I think it was called "Feels Good to Let Go" or something. Doesn't it feel good to let go? Something like that. Mm-hmm. Which was a collection of beats that I had that were from a lot of the Flip a Beat Club, flip challenges, things like that. That I really wanted to put out. A lot of stuff that I've been holding on to, I really want to put out. I think I'm going to release that everywhere, just so it's just on all streaming platforms. But right now, I'm really cooking up on what my next project is going to be. I already have it really in the chamber. I had to think a little bit. That's almost music I make. So yeah, I can give little keys and clues now because we here and it's real and it's solidified, baby. So I got a crazy ass jazz album, bro, and that's most definitely. Oh, excuse me. See, it's so hot, I choked. You know what I mean? But that's most definitely what's going to be coming soon. That's probably going to be my next, besides some EPs and other simple things just to keep up face. But the next big album and big project I'm trying to focus on is probably that jazz project. I think it's time for that to come out.
And is this from like sampling some jazz? Or
no,
no,
everything's played.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, I haven't even talked about those. She loves those, man. I made so you want me to just tell them about it, or you want me to just go? All right. So I had a moniker during COVID. It was called Late Night Slide. So Late Night Slide was a moniker. I was doing R&B rap like songs. I was doing these crazy ass like melodic R&B rap vibes with just sexiness and sometimes emotional real shit and just going crazy. She's really been wanting me to put that stuff out. She's been tired of me just having it sitting on SoundCloud collecting layers and layers of dust.
Yeah, digital dust.
Yeah, so you never know. Those
digital
might just come
dust.
out.
That would be like kind of a good name.
That sounds like a fire label.
Yeah.
That's shit.
We created it here.
If you didn't know, Poducer podcast, they also have an insane label. It's called Digital Dust.
Dude, that would be kind of cool. I will keep it in the back of the head.
Yes,
we'll write it down somewhere.
Yes, we're going to come in and stick her on the back of this mic next time. We're going to say Digital Dust.
Ooh.
It's fire. So, but yeah, I'll probably release those. I do want to do something like that. It would be nice. But I never think about them. She thinks about them all the time.
Are these ones like more like played stuff, or it's like?
No, these are like I was buying beats. I was making my own also as well, working with some of the homies like Curtis Holly playing live guitar. I would play keys, and make my own beats and as well. And yeah, I was singing.
Like, okay, yeah.
Like just straight like I'll let one of those fly too before I dip. You'll check it out. This is crazy. So yeah, man, you never know. They might just come out as
so people can see it on SoundCloud still.
Some of that stuff is. Yeah, you just gotta dig. Late Night Slide. It's funny if you're a fan and you listen to my music. There's actually the like artist on Spotify, It's probably comes from her because she probably plays Late Night Slide and B4Lasers every single day. But one of my liked artists is literally myself. It's literally Late Night Slide. It's right there.
Yeah.
And artists similar to, it's right down there. So yeah, that's your boy.
There's a lot.
There's
a lot to unpack.
There's a lot to B4Lasers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone this is basically, we'll call this like the roadmap.
Yeah.
Basically, if you want to know B4Lasers, listen to this shit.
Yeah,
I mean, if you've made it this far.
If you've made it this far. This is, B4 mixed it. I talked about me being a mixing engineer.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Talked about that a little bit. But that was like a real focus, like I said, all across the world. I've mixed songs in the Congo, for artists in the Congo, for artists in London, artists in Japan, artists in Korea, all in Russia. I've done crazy album. Like I did an album with a label out in Russia that was insane.
Damn.
Yeah. Hella fire. Done
a lot of stuff. Yeah, wearing a lot of hats. And I was saying how you always got the hat on. They're always different hats too.
Yeah, I try. My wife just told me I gotta get more hats, man. I got some B4Laser stuff, man, so I gotta get that cracking.
Well, we're working on some Poducer hats, and you're gonna get one. Let's just put it that way. Yeah. Yeah.
I love a hat, man. I used to collect hats back in the day. That was my
There's
thing.
something about when you're rocking to a beat with a hat, it gives you like an extra gear.
Extra gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's right. That's a diesel. When you got the hat on, it's diesel.
Yeah.
Fuel, not just unleaded. So, but yeah.
Well, thank you for taking us through, the map of yourself. There's a lot.
There is.
And if anyone wants to go check it out, go check out B4Lasers on Spotify, SoundCloud, all that stuff.
Slide on me, man. We always releasing dope shit. Got the sample pack out too before I forget, with the homie old Ricky, the Bump Show, the Intergalactic Sounds, Volume 1. Or is it Intergalactic Grooves? My bad. I don't know why I said Intergalactic Sounds. Volume 1. It's insane. There's 60 sounds in there, some crazy shit. Hella drum loops, bass sounds, special effects, drones, compositions with stems and melodic loops. So tap in. Yeah. All right, we'll do the wrap-up question. Let's do it.
So at the start of the show, I asked you what your first concert was.
Yes.
But what is the game changer concert that you went to? It could be a beat show that you went to that you're just like, dude, these guys are on a new level. Just something that made you kind of feel like, I got to change my game.
Future concerts.
Future concerts?
Yeah. I've been to, I don't know how many Future concerts at this point, maybe 4 or 5.
And this is in Chicago?
Yeah, every time. And the rapper Future.
Oh, Future. Okay. I thought that this was another collective.
No.
And I was ready to just listen and be educated again.
It was, if you're talking, I'll give 2 shows that changed a lot for in terms of pure intensity of a fucking concert. It was the Drake and Future concert specifically for me anyway, because I know the one he did where he had the Migos.
Was that at
But the one he did with Drake was man, I just, that shit was insane. And it was I didn't know the fucking floor could move. You know what I mean?
Where was this? United
Center. Yeah. I'm the fucking floor is there's no way, and the first time I saw him was at, I think it was, what's that called?
Summerfest?
No, not Summerfest. Yeah, I can't remember what the name of it's called right now. Sorry guys, but the motherfucker, that dude, bro, he did March Madness, and the entire stadium was just erupting like I've never seen before.
Yeah.
People running to the front. It was just the craziest scene ever. And that in terms of bringing intensity in my performances, that was the concert that did it for me. Big Jam, the fucking WGCI Big Jam.
Okay.
And then in terms of seeing people go in on a Beatmakers level, right? And just being inspired to want to just continue rocking when we did the Duck World 1 year anniversary show in LA, I was just like, I've never seen this many motherfuckers like go ham for hours on end. Like, what was that, like what was she, that 6 or 8 hour show or something we did? Like, I was the host. We went out there for the Duck World, was it the 1 year anniversary, I believe? So our 1 year, so our 1 year anniversary, like, in October, me and the wife, we flew out to LA, had a great time. Japanese hotels are the place to be. And there was, Duck Girl threw a entire, I would have called that shit a mini festival at that point. It was like a 6 or 7 hour show. Like, the lineup was vast. I was one of the hosts. I talked hella shit all night. Had a blast.
Yeah.
Food, drinks. There was a designated weed smoking station outside. I was like, I don't know what more you can want. And all the homies were there. Everybody from all fucking over was there. And they just rocked. And I was just like, this is, like, I needed to see this to know that we can also continue to do these types of things in Chicago, man. Yeah. That's why I'm hugely inspired by the coast, man. Shout out to the West Coast, man. Hugely inspired by those cats because they go very, very hard at what they do. It's a big inspiration for me to continue to bring that to the city. You know what I mean? I want to see people continuously active, continuously working, continuously striving to be the best beatmaker, best curator, best vinyl collector, best instrumentalist that they can be. So, yeah.
Damn, that's probably a good way to end it right there.
I think so, man.
I was gonna normally I ask for shout outs, but I feel like we shouted out so many people.
There's so many people.
That it's like you already heard your name.
Yeah. It's you know, I don't ever want to come off like this just, oh man, like I'm name dropping or something. It's just I've met so many people. I've worked with so many people and like tied in, like not had them do something for me or got something from them. I just literally worked alongside them, had them play live, had them at the Beatmakers Toolbox, had them at Flip a Beat Club. They did the Duck World sample flip challenges. And there's people that we haven't even shouted out yet. You know, that it's just, it's all love, you know?
Yeah.
Now that he knows you, he's going to be shouting out your future interviews.
I appreciate if I can be on this shout out list, I would.
Yeah,
I would
man.
love
And
that.
shout out to the Poducer podcast and the homie Jerry, man.
Hey,
you know,
thank
the
you.
legend himself. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Of course. So
I appreciate that, man.
It's nothing but
I hope
love
that we
this
can
place.
also do the same thing here with like just community building. It just seems like you're very focused on like, you know, being the hub of communities. Like if people want to, we keep saying tap in, like if you want to tap in, you seem like the guy that can facilitate that.
Yep. That's what I try to do. That's what
You're a connector.
follow your boy. Yeah. That's exactly, that's what it is. That's what she said. This is what she said to do. I just fucking did it. She said, build your own community. We close with that. She said, the wife said, build your own community. And I'm just trying to do that. And here we are. My name's B4Lasers. Follow me.
Adios. Yeah.
Peace.
Go check it out. Yeah. You know how to spell. It's with a 4.
4B4LASERS. That's everywhere.
That's what's up. Well, guys, if you've made it this far, thank you for listening. I hope that you got learnt, or that's not the right word, educated.
Facts.
And yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Oh, hell yeah. I always wanted to do that. Peace.
Peace.